This is the Berman Method podcast featuring Dr. Jake Berman and physician assistant Jenni Berman. We are here to treat problems and not symptoms. Disclaimer, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and not to treat anyone or to give medical advice. If you are interested in any information that we are giving and would like to use this for yourself, we recommend that you contact your primary care physician or reach out to us and ask us questions about yourself specifically. Enjoy.
All right. We are rolling, baby. The Berman Method podcast, where we're focused on treating problems and not symptoms. This is Dr. Jake Berman rolling solo today. What is happening? Good to be chatting with everybody. We are in November and it's cooled off finally. What a relief, right? It was hot down here for a while. It's snowing up north. Holy cow. We were on the boat this past weekend and it was hot and sunny. We were in the water, living the dream, and people were getting snowed on up north. I feel so bad for you guys up there. Come on down here. Come hang out with us in the nice, warm atmosphere and beautiful weather, sunlight, 360 days a year. I mean, it's the best, absolute best. Anyways, so what do I want to talk to you guys about today? First of all, I want to do a real quick recap or update on all the new things that we have available right now, because we've gotten a ton of new things that have happened over the past couple of months. First and foremost, the most important thing is Jenni's book is out. It is available to the public. You can get it on Amazon. Just type in Jenni Berman and then Healing the Gut. Look for the book, purchase it. It is a very easy read because it's not all just eat this, don't eat that. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff. She tells a lot of stories in there. There's a lot of stuff about our family in there. So it's just a really fun, enjoyable read. She's got colors in there. She's got colors in her pictures. I'm like, what the heck? She is balling. Like, she's going above and beyond. I didn't put any colors in my book. It's black and white. I guess I'm cheap compared to her, but it's great. I highly recommend you get it. Definitely try to get it before Christmas. This is a perfect stocking stuffer. And what I mean by that is all of you people out there that have significant others or spouses or very close family members or loved ones that you're trying to lead that horse to water to, but you can't get them to drink. This is a really good way to do it. Buy Jenni's book, put it in their stocking, pretend like Santa did it. Don't take credit for it. Yeah, I don't know how that book got in there. And then hopefully they flip through it, and then it can be their idea to reach out to Jenni and start getting some help going in the right direction. So just an idea for that. The other things that I wanted to talk to you about is we've got a couple of virtual programs that we released recently. The most popular one so far has been our golf program. It's the T-Shot Transformation Program, where it's just 6 modules. They're all delivered straight to your email. You do it on your own pace. And it's essentially the fundamentals of one size fits most on how to help you hit the ball farther, so gain more distance off the tee, shoot more consistently, and play more frequently. It's normally a $997 value or something like that. And we've got all of our virtual programs, including this one, on sale right now for $197. It's a deal. This is another one of those perfect stocking stuffer type things. This is perfect for your husband or wife that's a golfer that is frustrated with not being able to gain distance or losing distance, more specifically, losing consistency and not being able to play as many times a week as they want. So get that. It's the T-Shot Transformation Program. Just go over to bermangolf.com and check that out. And then these next 2 programs are really exciting because these are things that you guys have been essentially asking for these things for years now. And we finally put it all together. And one of them is called the Better Back Program, and the other one is our Posture Program. We put it together in a very nice virtual format where it's almost identical to the T-Shot transformation, where it's going to be videos that are emailed straight to you, so you can do them at your own pace. It's only 5 or 6 videos in all 3 of these virtual programs. It's only 5 or 6 videos. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. And essentially, the Better Back program is going to help you minimize or alleviate pain intensity, decrease pain intensity, but more importantly, help you focus on the very specific things to make you anti-fragile. These things are super simple to do. They're not necessarily easy, but they are very simple to do. And the same thing with our posture program. Our posture program was a major hit over this summer. And the biggest reason why people didn't purchase the posture program, they were saying that they weren't in town and they didn't want to do virtual sessions because scheduling and this, that, and the other. So we said, okay, we'll just do a virtual program that you can do at your own pace. So we put the posture program together in a nice virtual format. Same thing, gets emailed straight to you. And same thing, all of these programs are $9.97, and we've got all 3 of them on sale right now for $197. So pick those guys up. You can get both of those programs. Just email me, drberman at bermanpt.com, and we can get those going in the right direction. So that was a lot. The book, Jenni's book, and 3 virtual programs. Check those bad boys out. Now, what did I actually want to talk to you guys about today? Shoes. It's been a while since I've went on a rant on shoes, but it's really important that we come back to this thing because I was just listening to a podcast. I think it was a Joe Rogan podcast, an old one. And he said something where I was like, man, I've never heard it said like that before, because I've been using the analogy that wearing shoes is essentially like wearing a corset for your low back. Like the women used to wear corsets back in the 1700s, 1800s, because it tightened up the waistline. And the thing about corsets was the ladies never had back pain while they were wearing them. They could wear them all day and not have any back pain at all. But as soon as they would take the corsets off in the evening, they would have excruciating back pain. And the reason why that was is because when you're wearing a corset or a back brace, you see some people walking around with their daily activities wearing back braces. What it does is the back brace or the corset does the work of what your muscles should be doing. So if your muscles are not working because you have external support from the corset, then the muscles essentially atrophy or turn off and get smaller and weaker. So then when the back brace is taken off or the corset's taken off, those muscles have gotten weaker and they don't know what to do anymore. Then they can't support your spine. And that's what led to back pain when the ladies would take the corsets off. And I use that same analogy for shoes. However, what I heard on the Joe Rogan podcast was he's like, yeah, shoes are like a cast. I'm like, yes, they are like a cast. It's the same exact thing. They're doing the same exact thing as a cast. A cast essentially immobilizes your foot. When you put your foot into a shoe and you lace it up, you've got so much external support to your foot that all of the intrinsic muscles of your foot don't have to work anymore because it's got external support. So it's essentially acting like a cast. Now, I know there's a lot of people listening to this going, wearing shoes isn't like wearing a cast. That's a little extreme, isn't it, Jake? Well, maybe, but I want you to really get the picture. Like it's a big deal. Nobody in their right mind would voluntarily put a cast on both of your feet and go throughout your day. Like you just wouldn't do that. However, it's the same thing that we're doing with a lot of these shoes. It's so rare that I see anybody in the professional world with loosely laced shoes. Everybody that I see in the professional world, even in the gym world, it's so rare to see this with people exercising in the gym. The shoes are laced up so tight that it's just scrunching the foot together that your foot doesn't have a chance to be a natural shock absorber. By the way, your forefoot, the front half of your foot, is supposed to be a natural shock absorber. And it can't do that when your shoe or your foot is laced up real tight in a shoe. So what's the answer? When you start having foot pain, what's the answer? Oh, I need to get more supportive shoes. That's the general consensus in first world America is you have foot pain. What does Dr. Scholes say? It's been a while since I called out Dr. Scholes. In the first couple of podcasts, I was all over him, like white on rice, just calling his ass out. Or her. I don't even know if it's a man or a woman. But Dr. Scholes is like, oh, come into CVS and we've got these little things that you can step on, a kiosk that you can step on, and it'll tell you what supportive orthotic you need. And then you put the orthotic in your shoe and it's like, oh my gosh, my feet feel so much better. Yeah, they do. Because now they're getting extra support. And what happens to the muscles in your feet once you get extra support? They get even weaker. So the way foot pain usually progresses is I started to have pain towards the end of the day. Then as you start to wear more supportive shoes, the way it progresses is now I start to have pain when I don't wear these shoes. And then it gets to the point to where I can't even walk from my bed to the bathroom in the middle of the night without wearing some supportive sandals. That's the way this whole game progresses, is because your feet, the muscles in your feet continue to get weaker and weaker and weaker with the more support you're giving them externally. So they don't even have a chance to combat the actual reason why you have foot pain to begin with. So I actually wrote about this in the first book that I wrote, Treating Problems, Not Symptoms. And I talked about how in Jamaica, when I was over there, I was looking at everybody's feet, the local Jamaicans, their feet. And I saw everything from high arches to no arches to neutral arches. So the fact that you have flat feet is not an excuse for you to have foot pain. And it's definitely not an excuse for you to need to wear supportive orthotics. Just because you have a flat arch doesn't mean that you were not born with all of the same anatomy that somebody was born with who has a high arch. It just means that it's not been utilized yet. So here's one example that I want to steal from the Joe Rogan podcast that I was listening to. Is he was talking with a lady who just went through pregnancy. And this lady gained 80 pounds in her pregnancy. And the thing that she noticed most is after pregnancy, her feet had gotten physically wider. And she's like, I know that they got wider because my feet don't fit into shoes that I used to wear prior to pregnancy. And this made Joe go on this whole 10 or 20 minute long rant of how good that was for her body, because what it did was that extra weight that this woman was carrying through pregnancy forced her to utilize her feet more efficiently and more effectively. And what it does is it forces your arch to start working. So your foot naturally gets wider. It starts to splay out even wider. So your toes get wider. So for example, me, whenever I go to buy a new pair of boots or a new pair of dress shoes, I have to ask for at least an E. So I don't know if it's the same way with women's shoes, but for men's, the way that they give you sizes in the width of the toe box is A, B, C, D, E, I think it is. I don't know if it's A, B, or C, but I do know that the wider the foot, like mine is really wide. So if I get anything less than an E, like a D, Like it just does not feel comfortable, and I won't wear them. So this most recent pair of boots that Jenni bought me a couple of years ago, I believe they're double E's, and my feet are like, oh my gosh, this is like a dream in here, because my foot can still function normally inside of that boot because it has enough room to splay out every time I stand on it. Now, you must remember that the original purpose of shoes was just to protect the bottom of your feet while you're walking over sharp objects. That's the whole purpose of a shoe. The purpose of a shoe was not to give you foot support. So you go back 1,000 years and you look at the shoes that were being worn, the sandals, they were just so that the guys could run over sharp rocks and go attack each other, right? So people could just walk over sharp things and not cut your feet up. It wasn't to give you foot support. So it's so important to remember this, because nowadays the answer just continues to be get more supportive shoes, get arch support, spend $500 or $1,000 on orthotics. And yes, you may think that that works because your foot pain goes away. But remember, this whole podcast is about treating problems and not symptoms. Pain is not the problem. Pain is a symptom of a problem somewhere else. So just because the pain is gone does not mean that the problem was fixed. So where do we go to from here? I personally wear the Zero shoes. The Zero shoes there's many different variations of them. I'm not doing a plug for Zero at all. However, Zero shoes, they have no arch support at all. They're those very basic shoes it's essentially just a piece of rubber to protect the bottom of my foot from anything sharp. And when I go to lace those things up, they are laced up so loosely that they're laced up. Everybody pay attention to this. How tight should you lace your shoes up? You should lace them up just tight enough to where it doesn't slip off your heel when you're walking. And a lot of people are thinking or hearing that going, oh my gosh, like that's way too loose. Like you're really tugging on those shoestrings. But that's the answer. You should only lace your shoes up just tight enough to where the heel does not slip off of your heel when you're walking. The looser you can keep your shoes laced up, the more functionally your foot will work within the shoe, and it won't rely on the external support of the shoe. So if you're currently wearing a very supportive shoe and you're just cringing at the idea of decreasing from that support and just going to something that's not quite as supportive of that, remember there's a strategy that you have to use, and it generally will take somewhere between 3 months and 9 months if you want to progress to this thing. And you do it very gradually. You can't just go cold turkey. You can't go from a very supportive shoe to Zero shoes and expect not to run into issues, because you will. It's just too fast. It takes muscles at least 6 to 8 weeks to start visibly hypertrophying. So that means getting bigger. That's where you want to start. Going from your current supportive shoe and just lace it up looser and do that for a week. And then after that, you want to get out of your supportive shoe and walk around barefoot for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Just listen to your body. If it starts hurting, stop. You shouldn't continue doing it. Another good thing to do is walking on the beach. Intentionally go walk in the soft sand, not down by where the water is breaking, but in the soft sand for 5 minutes. And focus on pushing off. Don't just march through the sand, but focus on pushing off through the sand. And you should definitely feel burning and muscles working, burning in a good way, in at least 5 minutes. These are all ways that you can start working towards building up the muscles in your arch. And remember, we should be setting our time frame for 3 months minimum, if not 9 months, to do this the right way. I've not been wearing shoes more than I have been wearing shoes for the majority of my life. So it was really easy for me to go from a normal Nike shoe, workout shoe, and transition into the zero shoe because I naturally don't wear shoes anyways. But for somebody else that wears shoes the majority of the day, transitioning into a zero shoe, you're probably going to have some issues if you try to do the same activity level as fast as you normally would in normal shoes. So again, try wearing those zero shoes for 10 minutes. Like, do some walking for 10 minutes in those zero shoes. See how you respond. And if you do okay, do it for 15 minutes and just do that for a week and just see how your body responds. And then that's how you're going to gradually build up the muscles in your feet. So think about that next time. Whatever shoes you're wearing right now, not next time, think about it right now. You're driving or you're listening, wherever you're listening to this podcast, you're most likely wearing shoes. What shoes are you wearing? Are you wearing a dress shoe? Ladies, are you wearing high heels where your toe box is just crammed into that little point in the shoe? Are you wearing workout shoes? Are you wearing dress shoes? Are you wearing slippers? What are you wearing? How tight are they laced up? Are you wearing orthotics? How long have you been wearing orthotics? Why? Have you ever questioned why you have to wear orthotics and nobody else does that you know? Or have you ever questioned why you're wearing orthotics and I'm not wearing orthotics and I can go run down the road barefoot and not have any issues, but you wouldn't make it 10 feet without having issues? These are all questions that you should be asking. And next time you see old Dr. Scholl's commercial roll up on the TV in front of you, say, F you, Dr. Scholl's. I'm going to do this the right way. I'm going to work on the muscles that I have so that I don't need to keep spending money on these needless orthotics. So in summary, we had a lot of new releases in the past couple of months. The most important one is Jenni's book. Make sure you get Jenni's book. Great stocking stuffer. Christmas is right around the corner. We've got 3 virtual courses. The Tee-Shot Transformation Program, that's for your golfers, helping them increase distance off the tee, shoot more consistently, play more frequently. That's at bermangolf.com. And then the 2 virtual programs that we released on the physical therapy side, which is the Better Back program and our posture program. Check all those out. All 3 of those programs are on sale now for $197 each. The price will go up after the new year. And decrease the tension in your damn laces. Get rid of the shoes altogether. You should not be wearing shoes if you're sitting at your desk, by the way. If you're sitting at your desk, kick the damn shoes off. Let your feet breathe and relax. I hope you enjoyed this. Next time, Jenni will be back and we will be bickering at each other together the way that you love it when we do that. Actually, I'm the bickerer. She's just keeping me in line. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for subscribing on your social media and podcast platforms to the Berman Method. Dr. Jake Berman with Berman Physical Therapy and Jenni Berman, Physician Assistant with Berman Health and Wellness. You can find more information on our website, www.bermanpt.com for physical therapy, bermanpt.com/wellness for the health and wellness. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and on your podcast platform. So be sure to follow us, like us, subscribe to us. And if you would like any further information, definitely visit our website and reach out to us. You may also find our free reports on the websites as well, where you can download this free information for yourself. Have a great day.